So they will carefully monitor the situation. If indeed, due to the winter season and the fact that they are what we call totally immunologically naive, they now have a major surge, then they may clamp down again. But we are all not expecting this because the vaccine coverage rate is not that bad, and it is increasing.
Even last year, many people did visit relatives and get together around Chinese New Year. And I think, this year there will be that much more desire to do so. And if they can get enough elderly people vaccinated, I would think it's probably safe for people to do so. And I don't think the government is just itching to keep people separated for the sake of keeping them separated. But I think there is a lot of concern that infections could go up, or if restrictions were to be rolled back too quickly, that the situation would become harder to control.
We are now indeed entering what we call endemicity. That means we are now moving from a pandemic to an endemic state. And the definition of this is that the reproductive numbers, the R0 that we've always talked about, is now around 1 or sometimes below 1. Maybe if there's a little bit of a cluster, then it can go above 1, but it's now more in a steady state than we've ever seen it before. There's now an increasing body of literature and data that show that indeed, if you had a COVID infection or the disease, that you're at higher risk of various complications. So this is beyond what people commonly think as long COVID with fatigue, etc. I'm really talking about medical complications, well established. So, for example, even increased risk for cognitive decline, increased risk for Alzheimer, increased risk for stroke, cardiovascular, so heart. But even some data show increased risk of diabetes and other issues.
Nice deep breath for me.
Hospitalizations from COVID are increasing, and that will probably get worse across January and February. So it could be a difficult winter for our health services, not just with COVID, but with influenza as well, which are also quite high for this time of year. Similar applies in North America. Again, hospitalizations against COVID-19 in the US are increasing, and it will be quite a difficult winter there combined with flu. We do also need to think about, for example, sub-Saharan Africa, where a lot of the population has not yet received even one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. We don't really have good data as to how many susceptible people there will be across the continent, whether people have some immunity from vaccination or from a prior infection. So we do need to improve surveillance, improve data collection there. There is always a risk that a new variant will emerge. It's really impossible to say how great that risk will be. It might be that Omicron is COVID-19's final trick to play, as it were, but we could see a new variant going forward. Typically, we've seen new variants emerge in uncontrolled outbreaks. For example, Alpha variant probably emerged here in the UK, and the Delta variant probably emerged in India, both during uncontrolled outbreaks.
I'm personally still quite surprised how COVID has not gone with the current season, and we have not seen the surge that we all anticipated.
But what we really need is a next generation vaccine that will reduce the infection of COVID-19 so that we don't get ill at all. They're probably a year or two away, I would expect. I think by that point, we can probably say that we will have massively reduced COVID-19 as a threat. It will always be with us, and we do need to keep an eye on it because we know that it is a dangerous virus. I think we are going towards a better place.